out those Nigerian funk compilations that we were talking about earlier. I think they started kind of doing some of that.
Could be.
So they went, okay, we found some of his stuff. We would like to do an album of just William Onibior. So we need to find him to do that. We got away with a few things and we threw him on a few compilations and we got away with that, whatever. So they found him and they called him up and said, we would like to release just an album of your own stuff. And he went, I'm a devout Christian now, absolutely no interest in any of this. The comparisons between him and the guy we mentioned earlier, Lewis, are striking. So do you remember, like, someone found his stuff, went to him, he said he wasn't interested.
I'm into God now.
Same as Lewis below from Canada. It's actually striking, some of the stuff. Now, there's a couple of stories about William Onibior that were about, like, they weren't crazy ropey or anything. They were just, he was incredibly difficult to work with from other people, other recording artists in Nigeria at the time. If you watch the documentary that's on YouTube, just type in, it's called Fantastic Man. They don't want to, you can tell that they don't want to talk shit about him.
Yeah.
But they try and put forward that he was a difficult character.
Yeah, they're putting the idea across.
And one of the lads, you can tell, reminds me of someone like you who goes, you know what, I'll tell you a little story about him. Yeah, come on. Fuck it. He goes, apparently there's a story about, do you remember we were talking about Lewis didn't pay his check to Edward Culver? Apparently some lad did a little bit of work on William Onibior's album and didn't get paid, so he went up to his gaff and William pulled an old pistol on him.
Really?
He goes, better get off my property, pop you in the head. So apparently he was a bit of a fucking rough dude.
Yeah.
So there's
a hard shaw.
Just it's like a character. He's only a character. He's only a character. Now this is just a rumor, so I'm just stating that as just a rumor. And the guy in the documentary just states that as a rumor as well. But it fits into apparently his quite difficult mannerisms, so to speak. So David Byrne finally does get in contact with him, even though he refuses a load of phone calls to them. I'm Christian now, and he did also, like Lewis as well, release a load of Christian albums, religious albums as well. These two characters are very intertwined. They could be the same person apart from geography and race.
Thousands of kilometers.
Geography and race would be the major players in that.
Quite important. Quite important.
So, Luaka Bop and David Byrne's label, after a load of hassle, including getting... there's a Nigerian blogger who's part of the documentary called... Uchenna Ikone. He contacted William Onibior and said, right, this company wants to release some of your stuff. And apparently he said it was one of the most difficult ordeals in his entire life trying to get him to convince him to even release that. This dude is full on Christian now at this stage, going absolutely no interest in any of the stuff I did before. Now the stuff, the music itself, it wasn't like, it's not like Wasp. Remember when Wasp, where Blackie Lawless was like, oh, I can't sing this song about fucking you like a beast. I feel bad about the stuff I said before. The music itself wasn't particularly outrageous in terms of like controversy or anything like that. So anyway, it's kind of sketchy on how it happens, but they release the album Who is William Onibior?
Yeah.
And this is the 2013, I think, album. And they released finally, like all the compilations they did, they just got him on his own on a full album. I think it's over 70 minutes.
Fuck.
It's like a Tool album, but of Nigerian funk.
It's probably better than.
That's a different story. So they released this album to absolutely rave reviews, and that's when I heard about it. No, I didn't hear about 2013. I'd say maybe a couple of years after that. Like we're talking, like he was on like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
They couldn't get William to play live. They couldn't get him to even speak a single word about the music. They just got the signature. So maybe what I think you make me make another story now. Give you the money to this church or something like that. Go for it, do it, whatever. So what David
Byrne... Make a contribution if you show up, or give us it.
So David Byrne, Talking Heads, starts the Atomic Bomb Band. Now, Atomic Bomb was William's first big song. Yeah. So he starts a band, goes around the world pretty much doing his songs. Ooh. Now, I don't like the fact that David Byrne signed them in a Nigerian accent. It's real fucking awkward, man. Yeah. I can do his accent better than David Bourne can.
Probably.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
So the song is called Good Name.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are fucking brilliant. And I don't mean this in some sort of like condescending fucking little...
Stop protecting yourself. Give it to me. Do you have them written down?
No.
All right.
No, I know the song off by heart. The whole song.
Right,
10 minutes of it. Because it's the same lyric repeated over and over again. Yeah. Good name is better than silver and gold. And nobody can buy my good name.
Oh my God. All right.
Then he goes.
I was transported.
Then he goes, do you have a good name? Do you have a good name? I have a good name. Now, I'm not doing an Nigerian accent, so don't give me shit over this. I'm doing William Onabior's accent. So fuck you if you think I'm fucking doing some sort of fucking dirty racist shit. I'm not. I'm doing his accent, right?
My whole life.
He's really soft-spoken.
Of course.
But like the dude's rhythms were incredible. Like he's so many layers of synth.
Do you have a good name?
Do you have a good name? I have a good name. Now, according to all of his mates, he did not particularly have a fantastic name.
Yeah. Pistol pulling.
So, listen, they performed on, I think it was Jimmy Fallon. Even Jimmy Fallon wore, like William Olympia wore a cowboy hat in a lot of his album covers. So even they got like Jimmy Fallon to wear the cowboy hat. David Bourne from Talking Heads was doing it, he was wearing the cowboy hat. And it was almost like, no, I honestly think this wasn't some sort of weird cash in. I think David Bourne was thinking, how do I get his music out as effectively as I can without him playing them live?
Yeah.
So he did it live. I think he was playing some big venues. Well, it's David Bourne. He's going to play a big venue. Watch the Jimmy Fallon thing on Fantastic Man. They do a cover of his song Fantastic Man, and it's really awkward.
I believe
It's
you.
incredibly fucking awkward.
I believe
Watch
you.
the two keyboard players trying to hold it together. It's just real awkward. Listen, I don't think he ever did any interviews, and he died 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, he died 2 years ago as a man of God. And any slight interview over the phone he gave a little tiny interview over the phone to possibly the record label where he said, listen, whatever you're talking about, just I want you to know that God is good, God is great, God will look after you. All that bullshit.
Just torturing people.
I have a funny feeling as a skeptic, and this ties into the Lewis thing, if you disavow all of your back catalogue to go with Jesus, you might have done some fucking weird shit.
You've done some dodgy stuff, yeah.
You've done some dodgy shit. Yeah. Now, you absolutely can take that with a pinch of salt. What I'm saying, I'm a very cynical person.
But there's something in the history.
But listen, let's just talk about the music again. His music stands for itself. Have a quick listen to William Onabior if you like it. One of the people on the listener submissions, number 2, put a Nigerian funk song in. He might know. That's when I was decided I wanted to definitely do something Nigerian funk, and you touched on it earlier as well. So that is realistically all I have about William Onabior. And he died a man of God with some absolute bangers. And that's the bottom line. Here's your last one.
Took him to hell with him.
Did he go? Well, did he go to hell?
He did, yeah.
Well, this is the weird thing. If someone was in Ireland, like, let's say, if someone in Ireland went to touch on God, I'd rail on them.
Yeah.
But there's something a bit different about something that other side of the country where I don't really feel like railing on them. So,
let him have it.
Right, last one. If that was Jim Carr going fucking full God,
forget it.
I'd be all like,
2 barrels.
Fucking 2 barrels on you.
Last one. I picked the Vibrators.
Ooh.
So the Vibrators are one of the first wave of English punk kind of bands. They formed in 1976. And
I bet I'd fucking hate them.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's not really a lot to hate.
They don't do oi oi.
No.
Do they do slightly touching on racist stuff?
No.
Oh, cool. Do they do gimmicky, bristly kind of Brighton-y kind of stuff?
It's hard. Listen, it's hard to describe. There's been so many different kind of iterations of the band. I mean, again,
just say you like the Clash, and I might like them.
They are, again, they're kind of clashy. They're not as in depth as the Clash. They're a force wave band.
I've heard of the name, and I haven't heard a single song by them, which ties in perfectly to the fact they probably are lost.
Their biggest song is probably maybe Automatic Lover, which
and the song and they're by a band called Vibrators. They
yeah,
are mad into solo fucking.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, or other people's solo fucking because they were all lads. And
have you never touched yourself, Gar?
not with a vibrator.
Really?
No,
Really?
no,
Okay.
too complicated. Too complicated. Too complicated.
Me neitder.
There's too.
No, obviously I fucking am. But
Literally too many moving parts there.
I'm just saying it looks like it could be a bit of fun. I don't know. Fucking, I don't know. Branch out.
We'll do a whole podcast on that. So
Well,
they've
you're
had,
absolutely right. Imagine absolutely being a man that buys an entire vibrator. It's not going to happen. Well, for me, it's not going to happen. You buy a vibrator at your age.
No, I'm halfway done. I'm nearly dead. Like it's literally all downhill.
Imagine
from
like
now.
the actual vibrating thing for me at this age. I'm not saying about men, lads work away. I'm just saying for me at this age.
For you, what's the point?
Absolutely not.
I'm just trying to get somebody to look at me at this stage. You know what
Ah,
I mean?
okay.
Like
Well, you've got some good reviews on the old.
I have, yeah, doing well. Anyway, let's bang through this. 19 past members formed in 1976. The song I picked is called "Disco in Moscow." I think it's their best song. It's also possibly their most lost song. It's not really on an album. It's on a couple of compilations to do with the band. It was also the last single they ever released. So they've been releasing albums on a. They're still going. I think they dropped one member years ago, and they're continuing as a 3-piece. But they drop a new album every couple of years.
They're still going.
They're still kind of going. Yeah, I've seen them.
That is a good vibrator.
Yeah. You just bang some new batteries into it every now and again, chap. Keep it clean.
You have to keep it clean.
Yes, you do. You get one of them wet wipes to it, lad. One of them antibacterial wet wipes. Anyway, their last album.
Just before we
go on.
One of the oldest dildos ever was bought
I seen something
in
like
Ireland.
this online.
Shauna from Sex Shop.
From Sex Shop about
Yeah.
it.
I was actually on a podcast recently. Johnny's podcast.
Yeah.
Dystopia. And we were talking about one of the oldest dildos, not vibrators.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way this is vibrating without the use of a hand.
Without putting maggots in it or
It
something.
was bought. Oh God!
Loads of maggots.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. People are into stuff.
That was auctioned and bought.
Shauna bought it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's money. She made a few bob.
Well, she made it people. She owns it now.
Oh, yeah, but she bought it. So obviously it cost a few bob, like.
Yeah.
Fair play. I met Shauna. Shauna gave me a goodie bag of mad shit that still sits in a drawer in my house, yeah. I done a talk with Shauna, with her one night in here. Anyway. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I fucked you up. You fucked me up during
that's
Vivaldi.
okay. You're allowed.
Lads, if you're still listening, you might be fucking drunk by this stage because we could be like at 8 o'clock in the day.
The
you're like,
atoms, there's actual gargle atoms just coming through the microphone.
Do you know who I know we're drunk? The flies have left.
There's no fly. One of us ate it. It's gone. I didn't even notice. One of us ate the fly.
There was 2 flies buzzing around the start of this podcast. They have lived their entire life. They've probably had kids and died during this podcast.
I'm fucking sweating.
I hope you're still listening. If you're still listening now,
fucking congratulations. Legend. Absolute
legend.
Fair play. Let me do this.
They're probably the Patreon people.
Yeah, it has to be. Oh, okay. 19 past members. Started in 1976. The song I picked is Disco Moscow. Disco Moscow, I think, is their best song. It's also
you said
last. I know, I'm getting there. It's their last single they released, and they released it in 1980. So a single by itself. That was it. They put an album out in 2017. That was the last one where they got a couple of guys from the first 2 albums. They're oldest dirt. I seen them a couple of years ago and they were fucking super, but there was nobody else there. Literally nobody else there. So the guitarist is a guy called John Ellis, who went on to record a lot of stuff with Peter Gabriel.
Did he?
Yeah. He ended up joining the Stranglers as well. He played with the Stranglers for years.
I like the Stranglers.
Yeah.
So
he wrote a lot of stuff with Peter Gabriel, recorded a lot of stuff with Peter Gabriel, and joined the Stranglers. Now, the reason the vibrators are possibly more famous. Okay, little side note. If you're interested in punk music, you absolutely know who the Vibrators are.
Yeah, well, I'm not, but I still heard of them. That goes
right?
to show.
They're just one of those names because they've been around for so long. The Vibrators are possibly more famous for giving the band Stiff Little Fingers their name.
Wow, okay.
The Vibrators on their first album had a song called Stiff Little Fingers.
That's right. That's how I know them.
Yeah.
Now, finally, I realise now why I know them from.
And they got the name from a TV show called The Invaders, which was on in the late 60s, which is about a bunch of aliens who invaded Earth. And the only way you knew that there were aliens is because their little fingers didn't